So I want to show you guys how I do trading. Basically, in this case, it's a winning trade. After this, you will see the whole trade panning out. As you can see, I took a long here on the euro dollar pair. What's important for me is always a couple of steps. This is my Notion page, which I always use for me as a guidance to take trades. So I start out with a bias. In this case, my weekly bias is bullish, and the draw on liquidity for me was this level here. In this case, the daily bias also was the same draw on liquidity. Then I posted a plan a trade a plan on my Twitter account. And the time when I took the trade was in the London kill zone. Basically, you will see that on my chart. So these four are essential to me. Then I move on to the entry phase for me to take a trade and to count as a valid trade. I need to have at least two of these liquidity pools checked, boxes checked. In this case, it was the 4-hour fair value gap here. Here you can see this. I noted this 4-hour fair value gap here, which would be which was the entry signal for me. I was hoping actually also to see this previous day's high being taken, which would have brought me to check this third box, but it didn't. But it's at least minimum 2 for me, so I allowed myself to take this trade in that sense. Then the next step is some bonus signals. At least I will always want to see one. So I always want to be on the correct side of the dealing range, also on the correct side of the day open. It was barely, but I wanted to check that box, as well as some equal lows here that I found, and SMT with GU. If you have any questions about that, let me know. The pre-entry phase for me is when I see price rejecting off this 4-hour value gap, which it did quite nicely, but not until there that I thought, okay, this is going to be a valid trade. So I had to wait all this time until this break of market structure was taken out. A lot of times you will see that it's at the same time, or it will also leave some fair value. In this case, also on the 5-minute, you can see this fair value gap was created. It was first this one, as you can see, and would have been an entry for me, a nice entry, but it continued and then left another fair value gap on the 5-minute, which was my entry point. So at that moment, I placed my entry. You can see that later. It's all recorded. And my stop loss, I put it there. It's quite a wide stop loss. Why I did that is because price action here was not really favorable. So I didn't really want to take a lot of risk by placing the stop loss higher than that. But I could have placed it here in hindsight, but also even here. That would have got me a lot better R, but that would be I didn't want to do that. So then here is the displacement candle. That was this area, this zone here, and then the entry 5-minute time frame. And my target was at least these two lines here, which were the previous day's highs, Mondays and Friday, and start to scale out at 1.5 R, which was this level. So at that point I started to scale out, but you'll see that. And I made a little mistake as well. One upon scaling out, I actually did a buy order here, so that's why you see this blue upward candle, upward arrow. But you can also see that in the replay, the recording, and yeah, it's basically perfectly touched this area that I was interested in. So the draw on liquidity, as you can see, the price is now continuing further. However, I'm glad that I am out of the trade at the moment, because at 2:30, it's now 2 o'clock, at 2:30 we will have news incoming, so definitely want to be out of the trade at that point. And I'm also happy that I didn't have to endure this whole pullback. So quite happy with this trade. The next few minutes you can enjoy me taking this trade, watching me take this trade. So let me know what you think about it and what I'm doing wrong. So this is the plan for today. As you can see, I'm waiting for some liquidity to be taken out there in order to give me an opportunity to take a long trade. And this will be the draw on liquidity that I'm looking for. As you can see, for the moment it looks like it's just going to continue up, but and in that case I will not take the trade. But if we do get into this zone, I will definitely be looking for a long trade. So my reasoning for this draw on liquidity there is, if we go back to the weekly time frame, we can see that we are in a upward movement, and this high over there I believe will be taken out properly this week. So that's my main target for now. Afterwards, I do believe we will see a retracement back, or maybe even further down here. But first up is this level over here. So that's what I wanted to trade today. On the daily, we can see that we are moving up. So my bias is long at the moment, and yeah, definitely this level is it's targeting that level. So I'm hoping that I can enter a trade and monetize on this movement. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see all bullishness. First up are these targets, these previous day's highs, Mondays and last week Friday. We're already almost there. So as you can see, the price is moving up already and might not retrace back to this level, in which case it's not a trade for me. All right, so I'm looking at this trade today. That would be meeting 3 of my criteria. So that's the 4-hour FEG and the previous day high, as well as the Asia low. So I'm going to wait for a price to hopefully drop down to that level, and then wait and look for a bullish signs to enter a long trade. Right, so here we are looking at price action doing its thing. We've just created some equal lows here. I imagine that it is not the lowest point. I really think we have to retrace back. The dollar has to retrace a little bit higher than what it has done right now. So what is good is that the lower we get, the better entry I get. So for now, the break of market structure is no longer that point, but this point. So still be waiting a little bit more for that entry moment. So price action is not looking super nice. but it's definitely looking like a possible entry. So still waiting now for this level to be broken. It might do very shortly. Here we are. Now the dollar is confirming the on the dollar bearishness, but on the euro dollar it's bullish, of course. So we broke this level, but it's not very convincing to me. So it could also just be some liquidity grab, and then we go back to this level. So for the moment, I'm still bearish. So until we really pull through this level and leave a fair value gap, which it hasn't even done on a 3-minute, just a small one on a 2-minute. On the 1-minute, yeah, it did, but the 1-minute for me is not the time yet. Okay, so we're back again and looking more and more convincing. We still won't take this trade though, so we really need to leave a decent FVG, and then a pullback, and in that pullback I will be entering. Can be a really small pullback, just that bit into the fair value gap, but could potentially form a fair value gap here, which could become my entry. That would be the level then, and the stop would be here. In this case, because price action is not super looking, so I do need to be careful about putting a really tight stop loss. So this value gap is really looking like the one that it could become for the entry. Candle is looking good, so definitely going to take the entry here if we retrace back to this level. The candle, the 5-minute candle is 2 minutes in, so let's see what happens. So I wouldn't really consider this an A plus setup, because would have been better to, if this would have been a really larger retracement, plus the low hanging fruit, which is the first target, basically is already basically reached it. So but since the drawn liquidity over there is quite a bit further away, there's still momentum, let's say, to enter the trade. So I'm going to be placing the order now. Take half a lot, limit order, which would be a total risk of about 1%. So order is placed now, risking 1% of the capital. The new candles just started, so now let's see if we retrace back to this level. I might place this a little bit higher, which would be a bit more risk, but I'm okay with up to 1.5% risk on my trade. So now we wait. So back again, as you can see, the trade went into the correct direction. So I just took a little bit of a profit there, moved my stop loss to break even. So it's safe to say I have a winning trade on my hands. But I really think that we can go a little bit higher here. So it's looking really good. The dollar hasn't reached this important level actually yet, so which is an old 4-hour fair value gap. But a retracement is due anytime soon, so in that case I have a small profit. If not, we continue higher and we take out this important level here, which is also my the level that I think that we will at least touch anytime soon, i.e. my target. So that wraps up my third trade of the week. This is a 1.3R win in total, and total of this week is a 2R, a little bit over 2R. Here, what you can see is my average risk that I take per trade, and some comments and exit comments, and the kills order that I use a trade in. And these are the 3 trades that I took. So hope you enjoyed. Bye.